Greetings, I am Obadiah, and today I'm going to show you how I paint miniatures for the Resident Evil 2 board game. Now, I'm a new painter, but I've been doing digital art for quite a while now, so I have some experience that carries over from that. This video is just to share some techniques that I've learned with other new painters so they can get started painting and have some fun. Today's model I've chosen is the modified lab zombie, a very easy start for a beginner. So let's get right into it. So the first thing you're going to need is a piece of cardboard in which you cut 2 holes in the corners, that way so you can hold a piece of tape. Insert the corner of the tape inside the cardboard slots and make sure that the tape is facing sticky side up. With the tape set in place, now you can place the base of the models right on top of the tape. That's so they don't fall over when you're spraying them with primer. So I've got my primer ready, and now I'm going to spray the models with an even coat of gray. Sometimes it takes several layers to get just right, but it's much better to add layers than to spray it all on at once and have the primer become way too thick to where you lose all the details. Now with the primer dried and ready to go on our zombie models, it's time to get painting. Before you paint, carefully look over the model, that way so you can see what kind of details you're going to need to paint, and that kind of decides the colors that you'll need to use. The color scheme for this zombie is really simple. I used basic flesh, blood red, and Mojave white. To cover all the small details on the model, I used the Army Painter Flesh Wash and Citadel Blood for the Blood God, which is a great blood paint because it looks exactly like blood. So first we start off with the flesh layer, and you want to make sure that when you're painting these types of models that your paint is really thin, that way so it can stick on in separate layers and you can paint over it if you need to. So the thinner the better, even if you have to keep painting it over and over. I had my phone there on the table so I could look at the reference model that I was referring to. Now the model from the board game, the actual sculpt, isn't the exact one-to-one remake of this type of zombie, but it gives me a good theme and helps me understand the colors that I'm going to be painting. So when you're painting, it's a good habit to avoid painting the model the entire one color. You want to kind of skip it over so you can paint in the other areas of it and give it a little bit more detail so it doesn't get all washed out. So now to magnify the details of the sculpt, I'm going to put on the Army Painter Flesh Wash, and I'm just going to kind of liberally splash it in there and make sure it fills all the crevices and different areas where shadows should be. Once the wash has dried a little bit, I add on the Blood for the Blood God blood paint, and it makes it look really cool. And finally, when my models are all done, I take them back outside and I spray them with a clear coat matte. That way so the paint doesn't rub off and, you know, when people are playing with the pieces, it doesn't come off under their hands or lose any detail. So right after this stage, if you repaint the models with the Blood for the Blood God paint, it actually makes it look shiny and wet still, which is what I do. So once I'm done spraying the matte on them, I will repaint them with the blood just to get it to look that, you know, that very shiny and gross looking type of blood. And there you have it. Like I said, I'm just a beginner painter, so I hope that this video was helpful to you in some way or another. If you haven't seen my unboxing video or my Feldherr storage box review for the Resident Evil 2 board game, go ahead and check them out. The links are in the description. Thanks for watching and have fun painting.